Good morning. How are we? Cockle-doodle-doo. From Carcass John and Brutal Brett. Hope y'all are having a good morning. Welcome to Choices at choicespodcastofficial.com. You can find us on YouTube. Just subscribe, scroll down, subscribe. Help us grow. Man, we're growing. Carcass, I was on the phone with the dude in Florida trying to grab me an airplane. And he goes, "Hey, man, I listened to y'all's podcast." I said, "Get out of here, dude." He goes, "Yeah, every week I listen to it."
Well, good.
Good.
So we got people in Florida, people in South Carolina. We got people all over the place.
Yeah, man, that's good. We're growing. You know what? They like us to be real. You know, today's topic is just going to be Carcass John and me. I get to talk about the Carcass, the guy that we put in Discovery programs in Austin. He went through.
He
I
did?
Get to tell y'all about that.
Okay.
Yeah, I get to tell you about it because next week he's coming on the show.
All right.
Talk about what it took to get him in, talk about his experience. Dude, he's a different person.
Well, you're going to be because you finally have an epiphany, whether it's sort of coerced upon you or not. I mean, the thing is we all have reason to improve, and we all need to take an evaluation of ourselves.
You know, my little nephew, he's autistic, got himself a little trouble, and his mama brought him to my office. Dude, he looked so good, and he talked for the first time in his life to me for 45 minutes. I'm like, dude, where have you been? I mean, you're so cool. You got to talk. And that's what Discovery Programs does. It gives you a forum to talk, you know?
Yep.
Secrets kill people. That's my quote of the day. I'll go to battle telling you secrets kill people, and I'll go to the grave telling you secrets kill people.
Secrets can be like cancer, and if you don't take care of it early, it grows and festers and gets worse and worse and worse, and the longer you wait, the more misery it creates.
Dude, we got these people that are on all these sex groups and stuff, you know, that, dude, that's a lot bigger than you ever thought it was, Carcass. Go ahead. Slow and steady wins the race is our topic, Carcass. Go ahead and throw your song out there, but we're going to talk about some uncomfortable topics today. How's that?
Oh, well, this is about as uncomfortable as it gets for me. I actually selected a Justin Bieber song. And dirty little secret, I kind of like his music. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I mean, you know what I like, but I mean, if it's good, it's good. I don't care who does it. But this is called Life is Worth Living. And it says, ended up on a crossroad trying to figure out which way to go. It's like you're stuck on a treadmill running in the same place. You got your hazard lights on now, hoping that someone would slow down, praying for a miracle. Who'll show you grace? Had a couple of dollars in a quarter tank of gas. With a long journey ahead, seen a truck pull over. God sent an angel to help you out. He gave you direction, showed you how to read a map. With a long journey ahead, said it ain't over, and even in the midst of doubt. And then the chorus is, life is worth living. Life is worth living, so live another day. The meaning of forgiveness: people make mistakes doesn't mean you have to give in. Life is worth living again. So it's a process. I mean, we're going to stumble, we're going to take it slow. Sometimes we're not going to be able to hit the gas and drive as fast as we want. But as long as we're headed in the right direction, it's more important to stay on the path and get there, I think.
I agree. But slow and steady wins the race. You know, whenever I do something impulsively, I always get myself in trouble.
You don't invoke the 24-hour rule, you always get in trouble.
If I don't invoke the 24-hour rule, but it's like, I don't know, man. I had a friend of mine trying to get me to invest in his company, and he always just comes to me when his pants are on fire. I'm like, dude, come to me when you're sane. You know, I like your business.
You know, my dad would say the same thing. Don't call me when you're having trouble. Call me when everything's okay, and we'll just talk.
Yeah, that's it. Anyways, that's another story, another day. And the older I get, the harder it is for me to be in a deal because I just know how they turn out most of the time. Also, you know, I want to talk about the slow and steady wins the race. Did you hear? I got my new puppy today. You know, I lost Charlie, so my new British lab showed up, and she's a terror. This is day 2. It's like having a real baby in the house. Anything you leave on the floor, it's free game. Hold on. Shush. Anyways, this whole sex group stuff is a lot bigger problem than people ever thought it was. Do you know? Hold on one second. Shush. Anyways, no, quiet. Did you know that these sex swinging groups will rent the Omni out, 3 floors of the Omni for a weekend?
I've heard stuff like that. But see, I try to distance myself from all that. I've learned that you can't just ignore the whole world. You sort of have to be aware of what's going on, but you don't have to immerse yourself in it or participate, because it's always going to end poorly. But I have no doubt that sexual promiscuity is an issue, a big issue, a major issue, an overwhelming issue.
You know, I know of a lady that's got 2 kids, and she's living with a man and a woman who she swings with their kids.
Well, and so what are the kids gonna think?
Carcass.
They're creating new generations of the same behavior.
Carcass. This is a lot bigger issue than you ever imagined. You know, it just is. People are crazy out here. They are. They're crazy. You know, other people say, you know, what are you talking about? No, it's a big issue. Pornography is a big issue. And that's just living in the fast lane. You know, going for a quick result instead of staying true to God and, you know, taking it slow. Yeah, it might get boring sometimes, you know, but slow and steady wins the race. It does. That whole fast life of secrets and craziness and texting and swinging, I mean, it's just nuts.
Well, we've been saying since day one that don't eat the cheese.
Don't eat it.
No. Don't sniff it. Don't mill around the trap. Don't even look at it.
No. And you know, I tell people even when they're getting divorced, look, you came into this marriage with respect, leave it with respect. Don't be doing anything stupid.
I have yet to see that actually happen. I I've had very unfortunate experience with that, and it's tragic because you marry that person for a reason. You didn't marry the person because you hated their guts. You know what I mean? You married them because you saw something good in them,
I
and
agree, Carcass.
and then something happens, and we've all failed, but lose with dignity. It's like
Yeah,
throwing a temper tantrum when you lose the ball game.
yeah. And once you lose somebody's trust, it's done. So don't ever. You're not going to gain it back. You're not. You know. You're just not. Okay, Carcass. Can we switch?
Let's switch.
Our young male that we put in discovery programs last weekend went through in flying colors.
Okay.
He was going to be on the show tonight, but he had a prior commitment, which he would not break. I love that.
I applaud that.
I do too. He'll be on the show next week. He's going to tell us about his whole experience and what he went through and how it worked for him and the difference between before and after. We're going to get the whole before and after picture. And he did so good, his mother's going through. That's the way it works.
Yeah.
Boy, what happened to you? What happened to me can happen to you. Really? What are you talking about?
Well, you set a good example and people will follow.
Yeah, they'll drink the Kool-Aid. But he did good. He's not shaking his knee anymore like he's, you ever see someone sit there and shake?
Because of their anxiety?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it drives me up a wall. Anyways, he doesn't do that anymore.
There's something very cathartic about just getting it out in the open, but getting it out in the open with someone that you can trust.
Right.
And that's the difference between discovery and just telling your buddies, hey, I got a problem.
Right.
Because discovery, they have a tool, they have the set of tools and the public forum to do just that. Just get it out, get it on the table. And it's such a cathartic process and a relief. I mean, it's amazing. We keep talking about it, and gee, I wish people would just do it.
Maybe me and you go back through.
Yeah. I mean, maybe so. The thing is you really have nothing to lose except for your guilt, your angst, and your anxiety. Yeah. So what would be wrong with that?
I agree 110%.
Probably nothing.
Nothing. And you get to learn about yourself. What's in there. What have you been holding on to? You need to let go. What's causing you to make bad choices? What's causing you to make good choices? Right?
Yeah.
So I always I tell people I've got the fear of failure embedded in my bones. And they go, oh man, that's terrible. No, I use it. I love it. It helps me get up.
Well, you have a fear of failure, okay? But what you do in that process is when and if you do fail, you take the time to figure out why it happened. And then you try not to repeat those same things again, and the chances are you're not going to fail again, at least in that same way. It's like sports. I used to tell my baseball kids, think about it. You're going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still be a superstar. But when you go up there, it's not okay to strike out. It's not okay to ground out. But figure out why you did it. And then maybe the next time you get up there, maybe it won't happen again.
Yeah, I like that. I always use those baseball examples and metaphors to help teach people, like swinging for the park or let's get to first base, then second, then third. Baseball's a cool sport. And right now, people are holding on to baseball. It's
there's a real uptick in it because there's so many. There's no definitive outcome. One bounce of the ball could mean the difference in the game.
Yeah,
and in fact, when I coached Select League for 10 years, we I don't want to say preached because that sounds too strong, but we tried to get it in their heads that they're going to fail, but they're also going to succeed. And just like you said, figure out how you failed, but figure out why you didn't when you don't,
Yeah.
and do that again. Put that muscle memory in your brain and process it. And it's no different in life. I used to see these people wearing shirts that said baseball is life, and I thought, oh, that's just cheesy. But no, it's really not. If that correlation is there. It's about teamwork. I mean, you can't pitch, catch, play first base, outfield, and shortstop all at the same time. You need other people.
Right.
You need people to help you out.
Yeah, you do. And there's something about it that you don't have all the drama that you do in like NFL, all that celebration and junk and over interception.
It's definitely a modicum of slow and steady.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, a baseball game could be 2 hours and 10 minutes, or it could be 5 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's still interesting.
Yeah. And you could be in the bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, and 2 strikes, 3 balls, and the guy could hit it right out of the park.
Yeah.
Never know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm starting to watch baseball more because the whole NFL gig is a real turnoff for me.
They politicized it.
Yeah.
I mean, they make everything about politics, and I just don't. It's a sport. It's to entertain us. It's for us to enjoy the skill of somebody that doing something that we can't do. I can't kick a football 64 yards. I can't pass, end zone to one hop the end zone from the other end zone. I can't run like the wind like those dudes, but I like watching it. But
I don't like the fact that you pay one dude with one crybaby dude $47 million a year to play a kid's sport.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that.
Well, and we could get off on a tangent on the whole thing about professional sports, but that's probably for another day. But I think the metaphor of baseball is a good one because it is a slower, steady. It takes concentration. It takes a different kind of effort. You ask any pro athlete, and they'll tell you that the hardest thing to do in professional sports is hit a baseball. I mean, think about it when someone's like I was watching the Phillies and the Dodgers, and Shohei Ohtani is just an absolute beast. He's leading off. He's got 50 home runs plus, and he was pitching last night, and he was throwing the ball 98 to 100 miles per hour.
That's nuts.
And I was just watching these great players, just looking at the catcher's mitt, going, "Wow!" I mean, think about it. And that's why I have an appreciation for the Hank Aaron's and the Roberto Clemente's and the Barry Bonds and the Jeff Bagwells, because they could hit the ball a long, long way with consistency.
Yeah.
But
I look back, I played a lot of football, and I look back and I wish I was a good baseball player, and I wish I would have stuck with baseball. It's just a great sport. I enjoyed it. I like to hit the ball. I never forget one time I hit a home run and the ball goes shooting out, right? And it hits the light post and then comes back in. All the guys ran out and then they ran back in. It was hilarious.
Yeah. Well, I used to play baseball to stay in shape for basketball, but I don't even want to start pontificating on basketball because it's deplorable. It's not even fun anymore to watch. But anyway, slow and steady.
Hey, hold on, slow and steady. How about women's college softball?
I absolutely love it. I think that might be the most pure game out there.
Yes.
My father played on some Air Force-based fast pitch teams, men's teams that toured the world and did all sorts of stuff. But I love women's college softball. I guess they have a pro league now too, don't they?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, So slow and steady wins the race. That brings me to like Shark Tank dudes or guys. I've have a friend of mine in LA who does fabrics. He does the bed sheets for Resto Hardware.
Okay.
The guy got started, and when he did, he didn't have enough money for an apartment or any place to live. He slept in his warehouse on the floor, but he showed up. You know what I mean? Every day he showed up.
Well, I got to admit, I've done the same thing. I, I was in the midst of a pretty horrible divorce and had nowhere to go, so I slept in my office. They had a shower there, and I just said, "I'm gonna. This isn't. It's not the Luxor, but I'm gonna. I'm just gonna. I gotta stay on my game."
Yeah.
So I can. I feel this. I've been there, done that.
I think that the guy who shows up every day, goes to work every day, and puts it in every day, and really concentrates on what's working and what's not working, and what's standing in the way, and removing the barriers. I think that that guy, he's the guy that's going to win.
You know, and you know what's interesting, Brett? I started working. I had a full time paying job when I was 11 years old. I worked for Oscar Mayer, the hot dog company. I never got to drive the weenie mobile, but I stocked shelves at an Air Force Base commissary, and I was responsible for the presentation, the ordering, the pricing. I had a lot of responsibility, and I so look, harkening back to when I was 11, 12, and 13. Here I am. I'm retired now, and I look back and I think, how in the world did I work so many years? It just that it never seemed like work because I paced myself, I think. And there were times where I did a 90-hour week here and there, but it just didn't I can't believe that it's already happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And now I'm struggling to do things that just keep me busy because I don't want to I kind of like the feeling of doing something, not the hair on fire, running around type stuff, but I keep doing things because I want to be productive. I don't want to be just a couch potato.
No, couch potato doesn't. I want you to teach me how to do those Wordle deals you're talking about.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What's another example of slow and steady wins the race? I think it's your faith.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something, Carl, because you can disagree with me.
Okay, say it.
A lot of times I think that God answers new baby Christians' prayer a lot faster than he does a seasoned, long term, faithful follower. You agree or disagree?
I think I'm going to tend to agree with you. The one thing about a newbie, someone who's just figuring it out and has made that commitment to become part of the kingdom, I think that they feel like that there are some, I'm not saying everybody, but they're at a real tender moment there where they either continue to work and grow, or I know some that just feel like, well, hey, I did it. Jesus saved me. I made the commitment, so I'm done.
Yeah.
And they stop working at it. And I think that's very, very dangerous. I was taught as a very young man that there is no all at once in life, in spirituality, in love. And you've probably seen that in your law practice, these shotgun weddings or whatever, they have a tough time succeeding
Yeah.
compared to the ones where they date for a while, they know each other for a long time, they're friends first, and then that takes over. But I think especially in with making a jump to Christianity, the commitment is great, the salvation is fine, but you have to continue to work at it.
I was saved by a pastor who was a preacher at Denton Bible Church a long time ago, Tommy Nelson. He was a quarterback at North Texas at one time. So I had a friend of mine. She said, "Hey, I need you to." I set an appointment for you today at noon to go meet Tommy Nelson at his house. I drove down 35 all the way to Denton, walked into his house. I sat down, and he goes, "What's your name?" I said, "My name's Brett Stallcup." And he said, "Oh, you go to Irving High School?" I said, "Yes, sir, I sure did." "You play football?" I said, "Yes, sir, I sure did." He goes, "Was your daddy Charlie Stallcup?" I said, "Yes, sir, he sure was." And he pulled out a hat from underneath his chair, an Irving High hat. And he said, "I spoke for your dad at the Booster Club in Irving High in 1976. I was like, I think I'm right where I'm supposed to be today.
Yep.
But he took his time with me on walking me down the path of Christianity. It wasn't a, hey, throw some water in my face or dunk me in his bathtub or something silly like that. He took his time with me to say, here's how your life is going to be different. And he said, I think that you're going to have an impact on a lot of people. So I'm going to say some things to you that's going to be uncomfortable, but I want you to hear me. I said, okay. He said, I want you to stay out of bars and any strip joint, anything like that. Make it bars, period, because the devil lives in there and I don't want you in there. God doesn't want you in there. I said, hey, I'm good. I don't drink. I'm good. And he was just giving me things long term. You know what I mean? Like a plan. I want you to have a pure heart. I want you to really see God. I want you to know that He covers your faith, covers the canyon, the deep hole. It covers that. I'm like, I couldn't have been saved by a cooler dude uh, that really just taught me how to go slow. And I followed his advice, Carcass. You hadn't seen me in a bar, you know. It's just uh, I choose not to, but I also remember what he says to me. You know,
Yep.
that's where the devil lurks, and he wants you in there, dude. And he's going to tell you, he's going to sit on your shoulder and tell you right in your ear, "Hey, you hadn't had a drink in 36 years. Maybe one beer will be okay." You know,
Pennies make dollars. It just takes one. You know what I mean?
What? Yeah, yeah.
So, yep, that's a real temptation for a lot of folks. But
Yep.
as my mama said, make the decision before you have to make the decision.
Yeah.
And then when it happens, you're not making a decision. You're sticking to your guns.
My wife, you know, we always have it. We entertain a lot over here. My wife will tell me sometimes, "Hey, you can't drink that." I go, "What is that?" It says Topo Chico. And then she goes, "Yeah, but look underneath, it says seltzer. It's alcohol, dude. You can't drink it." She goes, "I wouldn't have married you if you drank." I said, "Why? You never seen me drink." She goes, "No, but I picked you up at the dentist office before when you've been on the gas." And she goes, "You're hard to be around. If you're anything like that, I couldn't stand to be around you." I was like, "Hey, I get it. I get it."
Hmm.
But slow, I think your faith is the same way. It's the slow, it's like I saw today with this Hope Bible Church preacher in North Dallas had to resign because he was unfaithful. He consensual sex with somebody else. I don't care what kind of sex it was, dude. You're standing there talking in front of all these young people, and you go do that for a quick fix. I'm like, oh, dude. So another one of my friends was trying to buy a ranch of one of the preachers that had to resign because he's a pedophile. And he goes, "Hey, I want you to go look at this ranch with me. I need your opinion." I said, "Oh, no, I ain't going. I ain't even going to let you look at that ranch, dude. That's bad karma."
Yep.
You know? So the quick decision for the quick fix is go buy it. The slow decision, nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna stay right here. Follow God. Keep my hands clean.
I think that goes double for that think before you speak role. I think people are quick to spew venom and slow to think about what they're saying. And
You know,
there's a lot of ill will that's been created, especially recently, with people just absolutely not thinking about what they're saying.
Carcass, you know how we teach people to be a witness?
Yeah.
We teach them, "Hey, what's your name?" "Joe." "Joe Davis." "Okay, now I'm going to say, 'Hey, what's your name?' And then I want you to repeat the question before you answer it." If people would just do that before they speak, sometimes repeat what was said to them or repeat the question, they'd get themselves in a lot less trouble.
So if you were to ask me my name, what's your name? I would say, you're asking me what my name is? My name is John
You
Foster.
don't say it out loud. "What's my name?" John Foss. Because we try to get people riled up on cross-examination, and it's a good secret on how not to get riled up and to answer a good question is if you repeat the question before you answer it in your mind.
Okay.
You know what part 2 of that is? We have them hold their hands like this, fingers, and play like there's a dove in the middle of it. And if there's a
Or a dog.
or dog, no, baby, no. Anyways, you can't squeeze the dove or kill it, and that keeps them from getting angry.
Hmm.
Isn't that a good tool?
Yeah.
So today's quote is slow and steady wins the race. It does.
Amen.
I hate to tell this. I'm going to say one more thing before we go. These young adults, we were talking about that before the show, who are going into interviews demanding Mondays and Fridays off, work virtual from home, but they will work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from the office. That ain't slow and steady wins the race. That's
Whatever happened to the day where the employer sets the standard or the rule or the
Carcass. I now hire 40 and 45 and above. I don't even interview young ones.
Hmm.
I'm like, it's going to cause me to drink again, and I just can't go there.
Don't do that because Sanka won't be able to stand you.
Yeah. Well, look, Carcass, I love you, man. So I hope you hit a home run tomorrow.
I will. Always do. I always look dead red, but I'm keeping my eye peeled for that outside, that slider, man, because that one gets me every time. See, I learned my lesson early.
That's it. I'm just trying to get to second base tomorrow. I got a lot going on. I'm going to get to second. That's it.
Well, like my son told me one time, he said, "Dad, I'm learning that I got more power to the opposite field." I said, "What does that mean?" He says, "I'm waiting just a little longer on every pitch, and I'm driving the ball better." And I thought, huh, so maybe that's like slow and steady. Instead of just swinging at the first pitch and then jacking it, pulling it down the line, you wait just a little while longer and you can punch one into the opposite field. Who knows?
Slow and steady wins the race. Y'all have a good day. Have a good Thursday. I hope you get to second base, then third, then home. Be cool.
Be safe out there.
All right.